Hey there, so no break for this episode. I'm going to let you get straight into it. There's just one quick thing I have to bring up first. After this episode, the VAs and I are going to come on for an after show where we talk about the show and answer your questions. So I am inviting you all now to participate in that. I'm going to have a Google form in the description for the episode, or you can email your questions to chapter15studios@gmail.com. Subject line, tell all. We're going to get into the nitty gritty. So if there's any questions you have regarding the story, the production, in general, now's the time to ask. We'd love to hear from you. That's all I have to say. So without further ado, please enjoy the finale of Hupsa. Previously on He Who Forsakes the Crown.
We, the United Rebellion, officially announce our coalition with Prince Zayn de Monte.
They're posted all over town.
My father isn't returning.
Well, you shouldn't be.
Feels like someone wants to blame this on me.
Arrest
Leah
her.
hates coffee. She makes it for you.
I won't.
Where's my brother?
He was in Kilahara. He must have escaped somehow because I can't imagine why anyone else would take him. Unless it was my father.
No more secrets.
No more secrets. The following story contains adult themes and depictions of violence and trauma. This podcast is not for children. Please be advised. Not a single eye is on me tonight. They don't know who I am. The idea, really, was to make everyone anonymous. By keeping myself out of the public eye, there's less to presume about me and my condition. Anyone could be here. You look stunning.
Well, you're not so bad yourself. We ended up matching without even trying. Do you feel incognito?
That was the plan, wasn't it? Although I'm sure the captain's staring me down from some balcony around here.
You haven't spoken to her?
I haven't spoken to any of them here. It'd raise suspicion. She sticks out more than I do.
I suppose that makes sense. Well, since we're so well disguised, won't you have a dance with me?
Here?
We didn't get to last year.
I don't know if I'm any good these days.
What nonsense. From what I recall, you are a master of dance. But you can lean on me this time. You know, I didn't spin much of the ball in the ballroom last time.
I know.
Rude. You can't even tell by the way I've mastered the waltz.
You must have had an excellent teacher.
Perhaps. Or maybe I'm just a prodigy.
Yes, you are obviously an excellent lead.
Don't tell me that. I might try to dip you. But I'll just focus on dancing perfectly. It's made me wonder, is dancing all the ball offers?
Not exactly. We serve food, and we open up the galleries, leave games in the garden. It's a social event. Many people start courtships here.
How romantic. Have I ever seen the gallery?
It's been closed all year.
I suppose we ought to see it then, shouldn't we?
Huh?
As honored and invited guests of His Royal Highness, it's only courteous we experience everything offered tonight, isn't it?
I suppose you're correct, fair maiden.
There are 35 potential entrances to this room. Of those 35, 28 of them involve scaling walls, which I wouldn't fret over when considering the standard guest. But people are bound to get creative at an event like this. Everyone is a threat, and nobody is allowed to know it. I take the uncertainty with stride and a couple cups of coffee. People don't pay me much mind as I walk by with my head held high. The prince is around as well, enjoying the festivities more than I ever anticipated.
You fool! Do you know how much this costs? Do you know who I am? I'll have you fired for this.
You look nice.
You look like the prince.
That's kind of the point. Would rather have them looking at me over him. But maybe this is suspicious too.
What?
Standing here, talking to you. Just the prince and yet another red-headed woman.
I look nothing like Rilliane.
Yeah, you don't. But you do look like a guard with the way you're patrolling.
That's what we're supposed to be doing, keeping an eye out.
We're supposed to blend in. You're not going to catch anyone if they know you're looking.
Then what should I do?
You've been a lookout. What makes you deem someone safe?
They don't have anywhere to be. They waste time wandering around, embarrassing themselves. They don't care if they're watched or not. So, I should embarrass myself?
That's not what I'm saying. You know, it does make me wonder about how Yuri got away with hiding for so long. We all thought he was creepy.
Maybe he used that to his advantage. He wasn't ashamed of himself, but he knew he made us uncomfortable. It kept us from looking too hard.
An evil genius, really.
What you guys talking about?
Leah.
Sorry. I didn't have much time to be fretting over my outfit. You'll live, though. Captain, you'll come with me?
Aren't you supposed to be watching the halls?
It's important. You're free to come along as well, Wyndham.
You keep watch. I'll go.
It's pretty. I wonder if it really looks like that.
The realm of the gods?
I always wondered if things were dramatized in the verses. Who's to say their world doesn't look like ours? Just a little hazier.
Perhaps less flowery than the artist's paint.
I can't even imagine how much time they spent on this.
It was a birthday gift from my father.
Did he like it?
I'd say so.
No, I've never seen this one. She looks older.
This is the last painting they ever made of her. Of either of them, actually. It was only a few months before.
How tragic. They're so pretty. Your sister looks like fun.
She hated standing for that portrait. She threw a tantrum for 2 hours because the dress was scratchy.
I don't blame her. I'd hate to have to stand still for hours on end, too.
It comes with the job.
I always feel so strange when I look at portraits of the Queen. I know her so well, but I've never seen her face.
She's a little different now. The rash gave her scars.
I'm sure she's just as beautiful. You know, you look like her.
What? No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Nobody has ever told me that.
Well, they weren't looking right. You have her hair, and your eyelashes are very long, just like hers.
Those things aren't uncommon.
You have her smile. It's identical.
Leah, where are you going?
Wow, you really don't like surprises.
I don't. Not like this. Are you just taking me to your room?
No,
You're being sarcastic.
I'm not.
If you're trying to waste my time just because you're
I'm
mad...
going to be arrested by the prince in 3 days if I don't get my name cleared. You don't know who the traitor is, and you're not looking because you already decided it's me. So I looked for you. You're welcome.
What, then?
Sayoko, if there's a miraculous possibility I didn't steal your rock, maybe you should be asking how anyone else would know it's there.
They wouldn't.
They wouldn't. That's what I couldn't wrap my head around either. But then I started thinking, Why is there a compartment in your wardrobe but not mine? Everyone's furniture looks the same, but actually yours got a design carved into the border. Mine doesn't. I had everyone show me their rooms. Nothing.
What are you saying?
You've got a nice room. Far better than mine. Perks of a captain, I suppose. However, the king liked Yeri much more than the prince ever liked you. Makes sense. He had such a cushy room as well, with the same cushy wardrobe.
It's identical to mine.
You know, he had impeccable luck until he died. So, Sayoko, why would a traitor know about your secret closet?
Because Yuri had the same thing.
Mm-hmm. And Yeti and this mysterious person obviously worked together. So one can only assume they knew his secrets. They obviously cleaned up after him too, considering it's empty. So really, it's your fault for not finding it sooner. You were the one emptying his room out anyway.
I didn't see this. Why didn't I see this? I would have known. I didn't check Yuri's wardrobe. I cleaned the room with Kitaean. And it's as if the pieces click into place one by one. The lies, the curiosity, the attitude. The way I've been pitted against the others and arguing with them for months.
Did she not see it?
No, she definitely did.
Where is she now?
Patrolling the stairs.
Sayoko, we took the stairs. She wasn't there.
Shit.
Checkmate.
How?
You weren't paying attention.
You cheated.
I did not.
Okay, maybe you didn't. I thought more people would be out here.
I guess it's too cold.
That's a poor excuse. The gardens are easily my favorite part of the castle.
They're mine as well. But at least we get to be alone.
You're right. Today was like no other. We've been able to do whatever we like without the criticizing eye. Shed what people assume about us. Love normally. My heart feels light. If only every day were a masquerade. Look! The roses have frost on them.
I can't believe the year has gone by so fast.
To be fair, you were asleep for a good amount of it. Do you remember anything from then?
No, I don't. I had dreams.
Bad ones?
Good and bad, I suppose. They pushed me to wake. Because I missed you. For you. Careful, there's thorns.
No, there aren't.
Really? Huh. What are the odds?
I can never get tired of looking at the stars. They're far too enchanting.
Did you ever learn any constellations?
A few at school, I think, but I doubt I remember them.
That one is the sailor. Do you see the boat?
The triangle?
Yes, right next to it. They say he was the first lover Beatrice ever took. She loved him so much, she had to put him in the stars when he passed.
How sad. She'd have to go an eternity without ever seeing him again.
A lot of people say that she wasn't the committal type, but I've heard stories that every lover she had after him was one of his reincarnations.
Do you think it's true?
I don't know. Beatrice never had much of a good reputation among Argus and Enyo followers.
She tore them apart. Wasn't she jealous?
I hope it wasn't for something as petty as jealousy.
That one. That one is about Minervia. I just can't remember what.
That is the symbol for eternal love.
Oh.
It seems a bit fairy tale-like, really. Love beyond lifetimes.
It's a nice promise.
Rilliane,
What if someone sees?
they won't. I want to look at you. Just for a moment. I love you.
I love you too.
I don't want you to live like this. Living in danger. Afraid of whatever comes next just because your name is associated with mine. You're most undeserving of it.
Why are you saying this? I'll take it all without question. I'll always stand by your side.
I know. Rilliane, I'm sorry. I haven't been the best partner I could be. I'm sorry I'm not more romantic or charming or available. And I'm sorry for everything I put you through. I want to be better, give you a better life.
Zayn, you're really starting to scare me.
Marry me. I may not know when this ends. The torment. But I won't allow it to take the things I hold most dearly anymore. You are the truest soul I've ever come across. The way you see the world may not be something I ever understand completely, but I want to. I want to stay with you. I want to make you happy and give you everything you ever dreamed of. We can do whatever you'd like. If you ask it of me, I'll tell them all and deal with the consequences, or we can go in secret and never tell a soul until it's safe. If you'll have me, of course.
Zayn, Of course I'll marry you. I will love you in every lifetime. A masquerade is lovely. A moment away from the stresses of day to day, where we may shed our preconceived identities and live free of the pain and hurt we've endured. But I cannot see his face when we hide. His dark eyelashes don't stand out the way they're supposed to. His eyes look small through the gaps in his headpiece, and his beautiful smile is obscured by the loudness of his outfit. I will love him in secret if I must. Deal with the distractions of the mask and voices yelling over us and pray for moments of reprieve like this. And I'll love him loudly when we've finally reached a point where we're able to.
You're the greatest thing to ever happen to me.
Zayn.
Aspen, you came?
I've been looking for you everywhere. There isn't much time.
What happened?
I tried contacting you weeks ago. The stone, I don't know how it... It doesn't matter. Zayn, your father is here.
Search the entire castle. We need to find her immediately. Tell the others and find the prince.
Where could she have possibly gone?
Somewhere with a view, I'm guessing. They're planning something big.
Right. We need to split up.
Leah! Take this. It was always yours.
Be careful, Sayoko.
I mustn't waste time.
They came in the night and plastered the notices everywhere. Every single wall in the palace. They stuck one onto my mother's pillow. They've been fighting constantly since. The only way your father was able to make it stop was by ensuring your compliance. I tried to message you, Zayn. I've tried everything. The ship docked not long ago, so I ran as fast as I could. It won't be long now before he arrives.
He'll bring the entourage. Make an entrance.
And I don't think he's planning on leaving any time. My mother came along. She's going to stay until they come to a decision.
And Koharu?
She's furious with you, refusing to marry at all. They left her at home to cool off. The rebellion left something in her room. Some book? I didn't get a look at it, but it had a letter from you inside. A letter to you. Her.
My sketchbook. Wolfsbane stole it from me ages ago.
It's divine.
Zayn, what are we going to do?
Who does he hate more? The rebellion? Or me? He can hate two things at once.
What will you say?
But her face, her name, they're all known. You need to leave.
What are you talking about?
Rilliane, you need to leave immediately. Get as far away from the castle as you can. I'll send for you when it's safe.
No, I'm not going to leave you, Zayn. We just said...
My father will have you killed. To him, you're an obstacle. He knows who you are. He'll do it to punish me. He'll do it without remorse, Rilliane. You can't be seen by him, please.
And what will he do to you?
He needs me alive to get what he wants.
I can't just abandon you.
I'm begging you. I'll never forgive myself if he gets his hands on you. You can go now. Pack a bag. Get away. I will handle him, I promise. But if you're here, he'll know. He always knows, and I won't be able to...
This isn't the end.
No. No, it's not.
Please be safe.
You must care for her a great deal to send her off like that.
She doesn't need to see me suffer.
Your father won't forget about her.
He will. I'll make sure of it.
How?
I'll give him what he wants.
There is no purpose for her to break post without a motive. She had many opportunities to kill the prince, if that was really their goal. But it isn't. They're attention seekers. They like a spectacle, anything to weaken the integrity of the crown. I could dwell on how foolish I am for not seeing it sooner, but there really is no point. The sooner I find her, the sooner I end it. If I was a traitor making my final stand, what would I do before? Clean house. All the information I might need. The prince's office.
Captain, by the gods, you frightened me. It's not what it looks like.
Uh-huh.
Really? His Royal Highness asked I check something for him. I can't seem to find the page, though. Might you...
Save it.
We're done, then. Playing pretend.
Unfortunately.
We don't have to fight. I've heard from which you hail. You were criminalized, made to feel like nothing. They burned you. You understand the fear, the humiliation. Why would you ever align yourself with a man who does the same?
It was a good question. One I often contemplated when I first arrived here. As much as I attempted to justify my behavior, my answer was self-serving. I would have gone with anyone as long as I could live. It was survival, not justice. Wouldn't you like to know?
Fine then. We'll do it the hard way.
You're foolish for thinking you would get away with this.
I did get away with it. Many times. And you won't be able to live with yourself for letting it happen. You really are something, Captain. It was such a nuisance getting my hand on that rock. It was fake. Again, you went through such an elaborate ruse to figure out who was after you. You must have been exhausted. And I almost felt bad for you. But you were ruthless. You sent Catalina out to die.
You don't need the Golden Remnant. You already have one.
You have a point there. Do you know the best part of it all? I didn't need the stupid rock. I just needed to drive you absolutely crazy. And it worked. Shit!
Smoke erupted from her remnant and wrapped around her fingers. Her hands against me were freezing, so cold that they burned like flames. Ice crystals sprouted from the floor beneath me. You...
I know. Not what you were expecting then.
You're late.
Shut up. You'll probably just bleed out. If not, I'm sure someone else will come and finish you off. One more thing, Sayoko. I'm really glad I'm not your favorite.
Zayn, what are you doing? You must have a plan. Zayn.
All that matters is her safety.
You're kidding.
You miss Enyo, don't you? Would you have taken her place?
Zayn. This is what we wanted. The marriage is off.
The marriage is off because I'm a treasonous rebel. He'll execute me. I violated every single sanction in that contract. I know that doesn't mean anything to you. Stopping the marriage keeps your kingdom from collapsing, and that's all that matters in the grand scheme. You'd much prefer my death over thousands of others. That's fair. I'll accept it if it comes. But I will never accept harm to Rilliane. And if I have to marry Kaharu to do that, I'll do it without question. I don't care if the world burns. You protect your family and I'll protect mine.
Koharu won't marry you if that girl is out there.
Then it's a good thing she left, isn't it?
His Royal Majesty, King Zerith de Monte of DuPoint has returned.
He's just as I remember him. An unchanging figure. He wears white because it represents purity, power. He can wear it as much as he pleases because he'll never be bothered to do anything to dirty it. His eyes are green, like mine. It brings me no comfort in knowing that he is undeniably my father. And yet, some sick, and twisted part of my spirit was happy to see him.
Her Majesty Queen Sumire Kimura of Kivahara.
So much for anonymity.
I think he's looking for you.
Most likely. It's time to make my appearance.
Zayn, is that you?
Yes, Father.
I should have known. Stand up, son. Well, that's no way to greet me. It's as I told you. He's always been so stiff, formal, even at his own party. Poor thing doesn't know how to relax. Zayn, you remember Queen Sumire?
It's a pleasure.
Zareth, how is this to prove anything?
He is home, right as I said he'd be.
He is partying. It is fitting for a man of his character.
That is nonsense. The message held any truth, he would have run. Yet here he is, standing by our kingdom. I am so proud of you, Zayn.
Zareth! Zareth! What a pleasure it is to see you. We were under the impression you wouldn't be coming.
My plans changed.
Naturally, I wouldn't expect any less from you. Arriving home to handle your obstinate son.
Even your own court thinks he's trouble. I don't know why we wasted our time coming.
Lanzoni, I don't know what you're talking about. Zayn is nothing short of perfection.
Oh, Your Majesty, you really are quite a riot. I'm sure you've seen the papers by now. Everyone is aware of his behavior. It was only a matter of time before you intervened.
Are you referring to the gossip column published about my son? The one published by the very rebellion that stops at nothing to tear my family apart? You would believe their words over mine.
Of course not. I only believe it has been quite a while since you've returned. You may not be aware of what he is up to. He was gone for weeks, and he returned with that woman mentioned, the redhead.
It is true then. He's been cheating on my daughter?
He did nothing of the sort. Isn't that right, Zayn?
I barely even know that woman. They only targeted her because she came along on Mother's behalf.
She was nothing but a victim of circumstance. Those traitorous bastards. How they've sullied my son's good name. And of course, Sumire, you may vet the girl for as long as you like, once we get a hold of her.
This is all very convenient for you, Zareth.
Convenient? It's a tragedy that any of this has to occur. My son's been left to the wolves. I shall make it known now, loud and clear. DuPont has never been stronger. My son has not and will never associate with the likes of the rebellion, and any discussion deeming otherwise is outright insulting to the royal family. It will be dealt with accordingly. I trust Zayn most ardently, and you are all expected to do the same. Now please, enjoy the festivities. And I mean it. Let's not discuss such things at a celebration. Perhaps tomorrow, we'll have a more civilized conversation on where to continue.
You're on thin ice.
I wouldn't expect any less. Zayn, you'll sit with me, won't you?
The chairs were tall and uncomfortable. It puts us on a pedestal to the world and sends the message my father adores. Everyone else is beneath him.
Where is she?
Who, Father?
Don't play the fool. That woman. The one you sent to represent my kingdom.
I didn't send any woman. You must be mistaken.
You're nothing but a foolish child. You may play as many games as you like. I will remain the winner. And you and that lover of yours will lose. You better pray that Sumire likes your lie. If not, the two of you will be sharing the chopping block.
I have no idea where I'm supposed to go, but I can't waste time dwelling on that now. I'll even figure it out on the road. Dear goddess, this dress will take ages to get off. A cloak will have to do for now. I'm a coward. I'm running. After everything, I'm leaving him here alone. But what am I supposed to do? It's not as if I could fight or persuade or have any kind of standing in this situation. I can't help him if I'm dead. If the rebellion sent the king here, it was for a reason. He'll punish Zayn, do the job for them. Or he'll use me as a scapegoat. Let's see, warm clothes, money. Is there anything else? It's fine. I'll be fine. Surely they're not already after me, are they?
Please, I've been asking for weeks now. I tried letters, I tried the gate. What am I supposed to do? If His Royal Highness would just...
Buddy, have you seen the state of this place? What were you expecting?
I worked here for years! Typically, one would assume...
It doesn't matter what you say. You have no proof, and you shouldn't be here.
Please, sir, I don't know where else to go. I've been sleeping on the streets. I swear it. Ask Her Majesty, then.
The entrance to the Queen's Tower was down the hall. He didn't look particularly regal, sporting a wrinkled white shirt and some plain trousers. From here, I couldn't get a proper look at his face, yet something in my chest twisted.
Look, I understand the policy. I know you can't allow me up there without clearance. But if I could just speak with the prince, this would all be clarified.
Could it be a ruse? Another of Jason's ploys?
There's no way you're getting an audience with the prince tonight. Haven't you heard? The king's returned. Come back another day.
What? The king is here.
As far as I've heard.
By the gods. I must go then. It won't be safe.
What are you getting at?
Excuse me, miss? Mademoiselle?
He's relentless. He's probably trouble. Let's see, I can make it to the kitchen down the next hall.
I don't mean to bother. I just wanted to ask if you were... a member of the court. Sorry.
The freckles are familiar. The eyes are sunken from exhaustion. It could just be a coincidence.
I'm sorry. This wasn't supposed to be a thing. It's just... You look exactly like my mother.
Elliot?
Rilliane. It can't be you.
It is.
No, I saw your name in the paper, and I thought I was going mad. I thought it had to be some kind of coincidence. It's really you.
Where have you been?
I was in Kilahara. The princess, I can't even describe it. She did something.
I know that! After you went missing, nobody had a clue where you could be.
You knew?
Zayn told me that you were gone.
As in His Royal Highness? Rilliane, don't tell me that nonsense going around about you is true.
It's... complicated. Let's not do this here.
I hope Rilliane got out all right.
You were just going to sit there.
I'm biding time for her.
You could fight.
What good will it bring me? If I hurt my father, then I really am a traitor. Then he'd be right about me. I'd be gone, and the people would have no one.
You're loyal to a country that hates you.
I don't blame them.
Your Highness, Your Majesty, there's been notice of a rebel infiltration within the corridors. We need to get you two to a safe place and evacuate the premises.
The rebellion is here.
Yes, Your Majesty. Wolfsbane is yet to be seen.
I see how they want to play. There's no need for evacuation. We are not cowards. He will face us himself.
Father, there are civilians here.
And? They'll get to witness quite the show. Let's see who thinks they're allied with you after they try killing you again.
They'll be put in danger.
They need to see this.
Your Highness, I'm under orders to bring you to safety by the captain.
And who orders the captain?
Father, they wanted you here for a reason. They called you home.
Find them, handle it, without spoiling the party. I'm not going anywhere.
Zayn, there's something you're not considering.
Tell me.
If I could have switched places with Inyo, knowing I couldn't return, leaving her alone, yes, she'd be safe.
Your Highness?
But she would have hated me forever.
Start sending the guests to the garden. Don't tell them anything is amiss, and have the guards secure the interior. I won't leave. That's an order.
Of course, Your Highness.
You care far too much what happens to the townsfolk. There are thousands of them. A couple deaths will not matter.
They don't deserve to be endangered. This isn't their fight.
They're the ones that came up with foolish ideas like rebellion. It's no fault of mine that their creation holds no regard for their lives. Again, with the fretting, you never cease your complaints. If you're so worried, run. See how it plays out.
No. I'm fine.
Then stop it with the faces. Do something about it.
In her hurry, she didn't even consider taking the remnant from me. Poor judgment. But it isn't as if the stone was much help now. I'm sure it was slowing down my process of dying. And if the majority of my blood was still inside of me, I'm sure I'd be much stronger. A great fight, truly.
Sayoko!
Did you find her?
No, we're still after her. But everyone's on the lookout. The king is here.
Of course he is. That's exactly what they want. End the monarchy in one night.
We haven't a trace of Wolfsbane. It's unnerving.
He must be waiting. Kitaen is our priority.
At least she left a trail.
I can't remember much about leaving Kilahara. It's all so strange, like waking up from a dream. When I started coming to, I was on a ship. And this man kept insisting that I was safe, that I could help him. But he was going on and on about nonsensical things, death to monarchy and whatnot. Now, I may not be the biggest fan of the king, but Her Majesty doesn't deserve death. She's innocent.
You told him no.
I called him outrageous. To be honest, I thought I might have been under some kind of psychosis, because he mentioned the most random things. He mentioned you. He told me that if I helped him, I'd see you. But after I told him no, a complete difference. They stopped acknowledging me at all. They locked me in a room below deck and fed me morsels. For days, I sat back there, stuck between crates and a pile of old guard armor. I got so nauseous, I vomited into one of the helmets. But I could hear them vaguely mentioning the prince, the king returning, killing them at a ball. I didn't fathom what they could be talking about, but if the king has returned, then it's true.
How did you escape?
When we made it to land, they had to move me. We were camping out somewhere in the west, but I burned the bindings off me while they slept and ran for ages. I came to Dew Point as fast as I could because I...
What is it?
I cured the Willow's rash. That's how I was caught in Kilahara in the first place. The second a cure worked, I wanted to leave, share it with the world. Princess Koharu didn't like that.
Elliot, that's amazing. You're going to save so many lives.
The kingdom is falling apart at this point. I needed the prince's assistance, but I can't guarantee he makes it out of tonight alive.
Don't say that!
If I had the resources, I wouldn't even be here. He's the only one I know with the capability to spread the cure.
You will spread the cure. Just maybe not tonight.
Rilliane, if the rebellion are staging an attack on the castle tonight, you shouldn't be here. It's dangerous.
I don't need you to tell me that. I'm well aware of what the rebellion can do.
Then why are they going around deeming you their ally? I didn't think you'd be one for political uprising.
You don't know anything about me. You left when I was 7. Besides, anything they say is a lie. They're after one thing, and they'll do whatever to get it.
What are you doing caught up in all this anyway? Father's probably going to have a conniption with your name in the paper.
Father's dead.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry. I didn't want to do this, but I have to leave. With the king here, you won't get very far with your plans. You may be better off trying something else until this is all settled.
But where are you going?
I don't know yet.
I'll go with you.
Why would you do that?
I don't think you should be alone. I shouldn't either.
Okay.
Hey, you two.
Shit.
Come back here.
It's fine. We'll play it off.
You can't be heading that way.
My apologies. We were just looking for the exit.
Well, you can't be leaving. Castle's on lockdown. All guests are to head to the garden.
What's happened?
You haven't heard. There's been an assassination.
You see, Zayn, a bluff. Nothing's happened.
Perhaps they caught him.
What is he even capable of? I've seen nothing but empty promises from him. His father was the real threat, and that was handled effectively.
I don't want to underestimate him. Obviously, he isn't as stupid as we originally thought.
He's just a boy. He can be killed as easily as anyone else.
Sitting here does nothing to solve the problem, but he loves to watch it play out. They're all pawns, easily disposable, save for his court. There are too many questions. They raised enough scandal to make sure my father returned. They knew that upsetting Koharu would be the turning point. But he is here now, and they are nowhere to be seen. Neither is the captain.
Come spring, you're to marry Kahara Kimura. But I'm sure you already knew that, considering your scheming.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sumeria has too many children for my liking. Out of all of them, that boy was the only one insistent on coming along. He's third in line. He'll never live a day on the throne. I suppose you feel a kind of kinship due to that.
Why are you doing this to me?
You take everything too personally. A relationship with Kilahara will be good for the kingdom.
Good for you.
I don't recall asking for your input. Zayn, you've made a great deal of trouble whilst I was away. There are scandals about, instability, imbalance. You swore to me that you'd take care of the kingdom. You signed on it. I could have you executed for treason at any moment I like. Marry Koharu, and I will disregard the rest. You've never even cared for marriage before. I can't understand your sudden infatuation. I guarantee this redhead I keep hearing of is nothing special. You won't notice a difference. All women serve the same purpose. Love is a farce.
You don't truly believe that. So you believed that with Mother? She still speaks kindly of you despite it all. She waits for you, even though you pretend she doesn't exist!
You don't know what you're speaking of. She's calling for us.
Nice of you two to join us. Aspen, you've met Prince Zayn.
A pleasure to see you again.
Aspen once spoke of his dysfunctional family, his inability to cope with it. Another unhappy life, formulated by miserable people.
I suppose it's time we get into the details of this arrangement. Going back and forth like this is exhausting.
I couldn't agree more. It's exciting, isn't it, son?
Father and Sumire live their lives without regard for others because they are miserable. The world has turned against them, and they feed into selfish desires. They've turned into bitter, malevolent people. I could marry Koharu and live. Rilliane could run and hide. Would we become like them? Miserable? Perhaps she made me better, but I never wanted to make her worse. I never wanted her to hide, or put her second to another. If I have the chance for us to live freely, shouldn't I take it? To end a cycle of misery, despite its dangers? I wouldn't say so, no.
What did he just say?
He forgets himself.
I don't, actually. I don't care for your daughter whatsoever, unfortunately. Apologies if my father has been wasting your time. He's known all along that I refuse to marry her.
Zareth, is this some kind of game to you?
The boy has an odd sense of humor.
Father, you know I'm not joking. Really, he must be going senile with his age. Actually, I'm already betrothed to another. She's truly the love of my life.
Do you think you're funny?
Mother, perhaps we leave. I don't think it's wise to be here.
You're right, dear. Only a fool would do business with this wretched kingdom. You're a sick man, Zareth. You and your adulterous son. You're lucky I don't start another war against this disgusting country. Never contact me again, and stay away from Kilahara. Vacationing all those years. Get a handle on your own city before you drag mine down. Aspen, let us go.
Zayn, I cannot bring you back if you're beyond repair.
I know. That's okay.
Enough of this. There's nowhere to go.
You underestimate me.
Stay on her.
Got it.
Surely she had a purpose in running here. What could be her goal? All that floods my vision is chaos, running, and His Majesty, not far from Katayan, who had locked in on him and the nearby prince. Your Highness, go! I felt the way my blood pulsed through my body, and the blinding blue of her necklace was all too irritating. I grabbed the stone from where it lay on her and yanked sideways.
Oh, no, you don't. I've wanted to do that for months now. Kudo, grab her!
Someone get the prince.
Hey, you okay?
I'm sorry. For everything. You were right about all of it, and I don't know what I was thinking. How could I not trust you? You were the first person.
Hey. Beg for my forgiveness when you're not bleeding out, okay?
Where did His Majesty go?
I ought to strike you down myself.
It's best we get the two of you away from here.
What happened?
Katayan is a traitor to the rebellion. We believe she may be their elusive third head.
Luna.
Enough of this nonsense. You there, apprehend him.
Apprehend Prince Zayn?
He is just as treacherous as those rebels who run amok in my palace. I will not tolerate it any longer. You've forsaken me over and over, and I've been kind enough to allow it.
Father, let's not do this now.
After I raised you, this is how you thank me? I did everything I could to make you a good king.
But not as a good man.
You can't be both. I tried. What? You're just going to stand there?
Father.
You're no son of mine.
You'll just let him kill you.
You think you have any right to defy me? I gave you power. I can just as easily strip it. I'll have you executed alongside him. See where your loyalty gets you. I must be a fool for thinking you were worth anything. You're nothing but destructive.
Zayn, there's something.
And where did I learn that from? If you cared about DuPont at all, you wouldn't have left!
Talk back as much as you like. It won't make a difference to your fate.
Nothing would!
Perhaps.
You've been looking for an excuse to be rid of me ever since you made me sign that wretched contract!
It is safe.
It has nothing to do with the kingdom! You hate me! You've hated me since I was a child!
Zayn, I'm serious.
If you want me dead so badly, then kill me! Stop trying to get a guard to do your dirty work!
Zayn!
Well, if you insist.
Rational people would likely ask questions. Look around for whatever perpetrator shot him, watch the way the crowd screams and runs around, hold his hand, listen for his last words. But when he fell backwards, staining his pure suit in a deep crimson, I fell with him to my knees. He stopped breathing. Minutes passed, and the world was silent. By the gods!
You go ahead. I'll take the prince.
Zayn, go with him. We must get you to safety.
And leave Father here?
Your Highness, it isn't safe for you to stay here. We'll have His Majesty collected as soon as possible. All the guests are being kept in the garden. I'll be sure to keep you from the public eye.
Elliot and I ended up ushered outside with everyone else. After hearing the news, I didn't think an escape bag was necessary. An assassination. A win the rebellion has been vying for years.
In plain sight. It's outrageous. How could nobody see the shooter?
It's horrible. Zayn's father was dead in mere seconds. I can't imagine what he must have thought, witnessing that. And it was so terrible of me to think, no, to feel, relieved. King Zareth would have had me killed. He could have had Zayn killed. But with him gone, Zayn would be king. He wouldn't need to answer to anyone. He could act as he likes. But where is he? It must still be dangerous out, and with another member of his family gone, he can't be doing too well. You don't see Zayn?
We'll never get used to that. No, I don't.
We have to find him. I'll check the western side, you the east.
I'm sure he's...
Captain Kina!
Not a good time, Rilliane. Kasume, heat the blade.
You have to promise not to die when I unwrap this, okay?
But where is Zayn?
What?
Don't do that!
What do you mean, where is he? You haven't seen him?
Not out here.
Jacob, you made sure he got out, didn't you?
We were all leaving. He was definitely in the crowd.
And where is he now?
You do not have enough blood to be talking this much.
Maybe he's hiding out on the further ends of the garden? He probably wouldn't want to stay visible.
Who went with him?
I didn't see.
So he's missing?
Kasume, the knife.
Oh, right.
That's nonsense. Wasn't Saren with him? That other guard too?
His father just died. He might be off hitting a tree or something.
Here.
I saw the prince out here. I swear it. He had a guard by his side.
Who?
One of Kyrie's. I don't know his name.
Weren't Kyrie's guards escorting people out of the gates already?
Okay, this is going to hurt.
You all must find the prince. That's an order.
Now. Just a little longer. And she's out. Gentlemen, go find the prince immediately. And someone go get a doctor. I'm sure he's fine, Lady Anne. They likely brought him inside. The castle's been secured. We already arrested the assassin.
You caught Wolfsbane?
No, the shooter wasn't Wolfsbane. It was some kid. The rebellion's notorious for recruiting members while they're young.
Then what of Wolfsbane?
He wasn't ever here.
But it doesn't make sense. There's no possible way they'd go on with this plan without him. He's too invested. He has to be here.
The wind whistled against my ears as my shoes clicked against the pavement. The sound is methodical, repetitive. One foot, then another. It coincides with the cane. It's funny. How did I remember to bring it with me? Like second nature, I must have picked it off the ground whenever I stood. Father never even noticed I had it. He surely would have said something if he did.
Zayn, snap out of it.
What?
Have you even looked around?
Where are we going?
The Southern Academy, sire. It's the best guarded in the kingdom.
Right. Father put far too much money into that school. There were plenty of others that needed it more. But I could change that then, couldn't I? If he's gone, I'm the king. I should be rejoicing. I could find Rilliane. Where is Rilliane? I don't have a clue to where she ran, but surely she'd catch wind of the news. She'd come back. The breeze was cool against my face. How odd. When did I take off my mask? I suppose it had to be sometime after. Or maybe it was before. It doesn't matter. The guard is still wearing his own helmet, scratched in odd places. He mustn't be a very good fight, then. What am I doing here? Why are you still wearing that?
Sire?
Take it off.
You got me. You know, when I found out your ball was a masquerade, I got so excited. You played right into my hand, and I knew you'd be the one to call me out. But I didn't think Daddy dying would break you so quickly. I was sure you'd say something in the castle.
You killed him.
Not I, but that doesn't really matter to you. Now you know how it feels.
You're the one who brought him here.
Wasn't it a good idea? I couldn't have done it without Annie. She's such a doll. Oh, how it must bother you the way she speaks to me. I can understand the infatuation. She really is something. It's a shame that she got caught up with you.
Leave her out of this! This is between you and I.
Your father, too. We were actually supposed to kill you at the same time, in front of everyone. It would have been glorious. If only your little captain didn't get in the way. That's fine. I have no qualms picking you off one by one, as long as it gets done, right? And I have very special plans for you. I'll string up your body right here. Let the people find you. Let the animals get to you. And what are you going to do? Hit me with your little cane? You're unarmed, alone, and weak. You are. You're making me hysterical. Now what? Hopefully you kick better than you walk.
Argus!
On it.
You really are a demon.
Believe that then. My lungs burned, but it didn't matter. He'll never cease his pursuit, and I won't go another day looking over my shoulder. I must end it.
You won't last forever.
My muscles ached. As powerful as Argus is, he can't fix the damage I've done completely. I don't need to.
Finish it.
Say something. You're a poet, are you not? Give your final words. You have nothing to say.
Tragic.
You make the same stupid mistakes as your guards. You never think to search for other blades.
Hurry it up. This can't go on for much longer.
It'll cost your life this time. They don't know where you are. They're not even looking.
Argus!
I'm doing all that I can. You're still weak.
At least you'll die honorably.
It's her. My silver staff in her hand. Bloody. Rilliane.
Is he... Oh my gods!
Wolfsbane lay in his own blood. Unmoving. Dagger still in his hand. He was unrecognizable. His nose shattered. Chunks of bone piercing through his skin. His cheek was dented in, his mouth agape, pooling with blood. You're not... You were supposed to leave!
I'm gonna...
Rilliane.
He was going to kill you. I couldn't let him.
I know, but you should
How
have...
could I have left? I knew he was here. I couldn't say, and I refuse.
Hey. It's okay. It's over.
I murdered him.
It was the right thing. How did you find me?
He needed to get you away from everyone else. The armor, I knew he had it.
How?
My brother threw open his helmet.
Obviously, there were questions to ask, people to grieve, and injuries to tend to. Yet, all that mattered was her, here, within my arms. Safe. We're safe.
You're giving the guards quite a scare running off like that. Your mother would have my neck if I didn't find you.
I didn't go far.
Ah, so he speaks.
I want to go home. It's too hot here.
We've only just arrived. Are you not excited to meet your cousin?
He's a baby.
You need not be so judgmental. You were a baby not too long ago.
He's boring.
I'm sure he'll be plenty of fun in due time. Child, the point of sitting on the beach is to feel the water.
I'm fine.
You just don't want to untie your shoes.
That's not true.
You're not a very good liar.
I don't want to put them back on. Laces are foolish.
Just because you don't understand them doesn't mean they are foolish. Fine. Give. It's high time you learned how to do this yourself.
Why?
Because one day you'll reach the age where another dressing you is embarrassing. You cannot be too dependent on others.
Mother says it's good to ask for help.
Your mother is a result of a far kinder world. Now look, you must loop the laces after knotting them. Like rabbit ears.
But I don't like rabbits.
It does not matter, Zayn. It's just a saying. There. Practice.
Like this?
Better, but not perfect.
Curse perfect. It's cold!
What would make it warm?
I don't like it.
You'll grow used to it.
Did your father teach you to tie your boots?
No, he didn't.
Why not?
He rarely spoke to me. I saw him once every few months for most of my life. He did not like me very much.
Were you a bad child?
No, but my behavior didn't matter to him. He wanted nothing to do with me. I was basically raised by maids. He didn't like your mother whatsoever either.
That's mean.
I thought so as well, but I had little control over his thoughts. Things got better when he passed. I swore that I'd never be like my father. I'd never let a child of mine feel non-existent. I promised that I'd be there.
You are here.
I am. I prayed that I'd make the world a better place for my children. That is all a king can hope for.
Do you still love him?
Sometimes. But most often, I don't. I hope you'll never have to think that of me, Zayn.
Will I?
You might. Only time will tell. But I dream of being different enough to change that.
Will I be different?
Of course you will. We all are. I am not my father, and you are not me. Isn't that the way things should be?
What good would a clinic do in Brindle?
Do people not live in Brindle?
Yeah, like 3 of them.
You never stop exaggerating.
If Valenvale isn't too far, and the clinic there is nice enough.
Ah, yes. Let's have sick and contagious people traveling. Excellent idea, Elliot.
It's economical.
And the roads near Brindle are jagged. It's unsafe. You act as if we don't have the money.
How are you two faring?
Your Majesty.
Elliot doesn't think we should put a clinic in Brindle.
Do people not live in Brindle?
That's what I said!
We should have a clinic in every village.
That's the plan. Ever since the cure for Willow's rash was revealed, DuPont has undergone a major transformation. Through the work of many talented healers and doctors, we've been able to lessen the spread of the disease tenfold. With each passing day, the capability to help others grows.
Dear, you're procrastinating.
Am I?
Seems like it.
Considering how long it takes you to get ready.
Hush up!
I'm just saying, I would have taken the offer of marrying the same day. It'd save a lot of dressing time.
Why don't you marry him then? Besides, marrying today isn't kind. Today is about him.
Don't put it up there, idiot!
Where am I supposed to put it then?
She's tiny, and your first thought is to put it on the highest shelf possible?
Excuse me.
Well, what's the point of having shelves if I can't put anything on them?
Sayoko, we've got to get you a step stool.
I think I can manage.
Somebody left this on the porch.
What? What's so funny?
Another plant?
What about it?
You don't think you have enough by now?
I like plants.
Yeah, we get that.
You can put it down now.
I think you might be a hoarder.
I am not. My home will be very clean.
A secret hoarder, then.
Don't break anything. Without the remnant's mirage, my scars are plain to see. They crawl up my hands and twist. I hate the feeling.
What's that?
Tea.
Chamomile. My favorite. So, big plans for you?
I'm not sure.
Retired at 28, living alone in a big, beautiful house with 100 plants. What will you do?
What will you do, Captain?
Don't make me push. Besides, we're not really remnant mercenaries anymore. I'm not really sure what I'm the captain of. He'll have me running around.
You'll do great.
I have the feeling you're going to be looking over my shoulders a lot.
No. I trust you.
Are you two eating without us?
Have at it.
By the gods, that's good. Strange question for you all. Have you guys been hungrier since the prince took the stones?
So it's not just me?
We are so lame.
The sky is orange, almost purple, and the sun is blinding to those who stare into it. The air is cool, and the neighborhood children are laughing and playing together. It's something I've never heard before. I've lived many lives. Ones where I hid, ones where I lied, and in all of them I fought. So I will be content with a quiet life from now on. A life where I must determine the kind of person I am, what kinds of things I do, the kinds of books I like, and whether I prefer the summer or the winter more. The steam from the chamomile warms my face, and with a sip, I find it warms my stomach. A calming aroma that makes me shut my eyes and relish in another drink. A slow and drowsy movement that takes time to finish the cup. It tastes of earth and is never bitter or harsh. I could drink it for the rest of my life. I never cared much for coffee. Anyway.
The office isn't unlike my own. Cold. Gray. White marble tiles and grand mahogany furniture. For some reason, I sit here like I've been summoned, waiting for him to come and scold me. He never does. I'm not used to the silence, especially in my head. The idea that my thoughts aren't constantly under some kind of scrutiny is absurd, but absurdity feels rather normal. The parchment is soft against my fingertips, but the words remain heavy. I haven't read it in ages, since I was but 16.
You're hiding. Everyone is noticing that you're gone.
I know.
What are you doing in here?
This is the king's office. I haven't stepped foot here in ages.
Oh.
But I have to now. It's tradition. I have to have all his things removed.
Not tonight.
You're right. I don't think it'll ever feel real.
What won't?
All of it. It feels like it happened so fast. I used to dream about my coronation, yet now I'm locking myself in rooms. I always knew it'd happen like this, with him gone, but there was still this part of me that hoped he'd change his mind and pass the throne down himself, and that he'd be proud of me for what I'd done.
I'm so sorry, Zayn. I wish it was different.
I do too. This is it. It's just been sitting in his desk all this time. I didn't need to read the words. I had it memorized. Any act of defiance will be considered the highest form of treason. If the crown, by any means, is forsaken, regulations are set in place for the heir's execution. It's a piece of paper. That's all it is now. The court may not find me favorable, but their protests mean nothing now. They answer to me.
Ah, Your Majesty.
I'll never get used to that. But you, Rilliane, you're a little too good at this. All of it. You may be better off taking my place. She can't fathom just how much I admire the things she's done for me. The initiative she's taken in helping the people. Of all the scandalous things I was accused of, my involvement with her was always most favorable with the townsfolk. A woman they know. A woman who helped.
Seems a bit redundant, considering we'll be married a week from now.
You won't leave me at the altar?
That'd be quite the scandal. I'd make my name as a runaway bride.
I don't think you'd get very far.
They're going to notice we're both gone.
Oh, let them. They can't say a word.
I like that.
Or we could both leave. Run to the west and start a farm.
You would not last a day doing farm work.
Rude.
If your wife cannot be honest with you, then who can?
I could learn to plow a field.
And will you clean the cow's pen?
Perhaps we stay.
Perhaps we do. Maybe we should go downstairs. Have a dance.
In a minute. I don't want to leave yet.
I didn't know your father played piano.
We all played piano.
Before we go, will you play something? For old time's sake?
She smells like the roses from the garden. It's intoxicating. The scent only grows stronger as I get closer. Her lips are soft and pliant against mine, and the kiss is short and sweet. A reminder of the little things. A wish for good luck. A way to say goodbye. Or, I love you. A light in the dark. I don't think I'll ever be able to refuse her requests.
Did you enjoy it?
Enjoy what?
Being human.
At times.
What a vague answer. Quite typical of you. What is it?
I did like being human. But I like being with you much more.
How I've missed you.
He Who Forsakes the Crown is an audio drama written and produced by Chapter 15 Studios, featuring the vocal talents of Eric Smith, Julia Orsborn, Chara Lynn, Ray Walker, Dante Majors, Castiel Michi, Michael Naiman, Ranger H. Fox, Amy Chulgin, Cassius Hodges, Azakela Aaron Redfire, Sabrina May, Rodrigo Tamayo, EJ De Jesus, Anthony Rodriguez, and Bella Cherish. Thank you for listening to He Who Forsakes the Crown. That's a wrap, guys. There are so many things I could say and so many thank yous I could give, and it's a lot, and my heart is full. All I can really say, please participate in our after show, submit questions, say hi to the actors, get the closure you need, and we can get the closure we need. But it's truly been such a journey, and I am eternally grateful to you all. So, see you around.